What up, nerds? Welcome to a special YouTube edition of Straight Chilling. My name is Bob, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about some of my favorite Blu Ray releases of 2018. A lot of good stuff came out last year, and I'm definitely a big fan of collecting physical media. I know some of you guys are as well, so I figured I'd try and put a video together real quick and run down my top 10 of 2018 and see what you guys think. If you have any suggestions for me, you can always leave comments down below and let me know what you think. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Number 10, I wanted to highlight this Friday the 13th 8-movie collection right there. Some of the later Friday the 13th movies are actually kind of hard to find on Blu-ray unless you want to get some sort of weird German release or that special edition tin that's out of print and people sell it on eBay for crazy amounts of money. So this right here, you get the first 8 movies in the franchise, and it's like sells for around $20. It does have some bonus features on it, not a ton, but I mean, as far as bang for your buck goes, I think it's definitely something that's worthy of having in your collection for sure. Next up, I want to talk about the Night of the Living Dead Criterion release, which is kind of a must-own. They totally revamped the footage. I mean, the movie looks better here than it has ever before. Obviously, the artwork has totally been redone. It looks fantastic. It comes with a great poster. There's tons of bonus features on it. And as far as Criterion goes, it's relatively inexpensive. I think it sells for around $20 as well. So it's definitely one that I would recommend having in your collection. I've got a few Scream Factory releases. They put out a ton of stuff pretty much every year, but there's a handful that I definitely wanted to mention. The first one is kind of mandatory viewing for me around Christmas time. It's a Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, which is, to be honest, a horrible, horrible movie, especially considering that half the movie is really just regurgitated footage from the first movie that they present to you in flashbacks. But it is hilarious. The acting is terrible. There's a decent amount of bonus features on there. The new artwork is pretty cool, and if you order it from Scream Factory's website directly, you'll get a poster of the new artwork, which is kind of cool. Another Scream Factory release I want to talk about is a 90s gem. Everybody knows it. Candyman. Again, this is another movie that wasn't released on Blu-ray until Scream Factory put it out. I know there are some Region B Blu-rays, I believe, you could get. But the transfer didn't look all that great, honestly. Scream Factory did a much better job comparing it to what's already out there. So Candyman is kind of one of those must-own movies for sure, and this is the best it's ever looked before. And of course, as Scream Factory always does, it's got a ton of bonus features and stuff like that. Another Scream Factory release is kind of one of my favorite slashers that's out there. It's Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. It's a great meta slasher. It's you gotta watch it if you haven't. It definitely, it's sort of like Scream but taken to a whole nother level. And it's also got tons of bonus features on this release. One of my favorite ones, actually, there's a commentary on there that's done by Adam Green and Joe Lynch from the Movie Crypt podcast, and I always get a kick out of those guys, and I thought it was kind of cool they included that as one of the bonus features on their release. The last Scream Factory release I want to talk about is definitely a must-own, Creepshow. They did a really great job with this. The packaging is incredible. It's got a nice hard case with it. It comes with a booklet with some writings about the movie and tons of bonus features. And it's one of those that I'm sure they're going to sell out relatively soon because of the nice hard case. And it's like going to be up on eBay. People are going to be selling it for $75 or something crazy. So definitely jump on that one. Arrow Video is another company that I'm a big fan of. They do a lot of really great work as far as like restoring old cult movies, and their packaging is always really great. So there's a handful of those that I want to recommend to you real quick here. The first one is like a drive-through classic, a drive-in classic rather, basket case. The packaging is incredible. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a release from Arrow that has had quite as many bonus features. If you just like take a look at the back, that laundry list is insane. I mean, there's hours and hours of bonus footage on this release, and the movie looks better than it ever has before. Of course, their transfers are always done like impeccably, and the movie is just kind of nuts. It's like early 80s New York. It looks grimy, and it's one of those things that you definitely need to see if you haven't already. I've been blasting through a lot of Argento movies this past year, and Arrow put out a lot of Argento stuff. So I wanted to recommend a couple of those to you. The first of them being Deep Red, which is sort of like the penultimate giallo movie. It's kind of like the summation of all of his previous work. It's if you had to watch one giallo movie, I would recommend Deep Red. And this release from Arrow is pretty incredible. It's got a really nice booklet with scholarly writings and whatnot on the movie. It comes with a poster, some lobby cards. The case is like a nice hard cardboard case. It's presented really, really well. Arrow always does good work. Another Argento release from Arrow that I would recommend is The Cat of Nine Tails. This is one of his earlier giallo pictures. The photography is beautiful. It looks fantastic. Again, this pretty much released the exact same way as Deep Red. It's got the booklet with the poster, the lobby cards, a nice hard cardboard case, and it's sort of these two movies would kind of give you a nice picture of like where Argento sort of started with his giallo movies and kind of like where he ended up being in Deep Red. If you're looking to get into some Italian horror movies, I would definitely recommend those two from Arrow. Last but not least, I wanted to recommend a Target release, actually. Target exclusive. It's Stranger Things 2. Target released Stranger Things 1 as well, and they kind of do these faux VHS boxes. The first one was sort of like a slip where you take the VHS out of it, open it up, and it has all your discs in it. This is more of like a rental case, like a hard rental case you get from a Blockbuster or something. You open it up, and it's got the faux VHS in there, and then underneath that, it's got all your 4Ks and Blu-rays and whatnot. I always really enjoyed how Target started putting out all these weird Stranger Things collectibles and whatnot, but a pretty cool release. The only downfall there is they don't ever include any sort of bonus features. It's just the show, which is great. If you haven't seen it, it's worth it. Even if it is just the show and no bonus features, I recommend it. So yeah, those are the 10 releases of 2018 that I would definitely recommend you pick up. There's obviously a lot more out there that you could blow your money on if you want. And again, feel free to comment below and let me know if you agree or disagree on any of these things that I've recommended, or if there's anything that you would recommend that I need to pick up and add to my collection as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. As always, everybody please keep chilling.